Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 70 of the Parenting Autism Podcast. You can find us on the internet at parentingautismshow.com. Reach out by email, parentingautism@att.net. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, we're probably there. And episode 70 here, we've got some more interesting tidbits in the last couple of weeks. We try to do episodes more often, but it just never seems to work out that way. As everybody probably knows, it's if you have somebody with autism, you're a busy bee. So we're busy bee twos.
Okay, then.
Hi, Sandy.
Hey, Chris. That was quite the lengthy intro, so I was just letting you roll and
I was just rolling out.
Yeah.
Roll out the red carpet. Here's Sandy.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for joining in. And if it's your first time, we want to give you a warm welcome. And if you keep coming back, we want to thank you for that. And if you have been listening lately, you'll know that we began a fairly radical diet change here at our home.
Woohoo!
About 3 weeks ago. And so we gave a brief update the last time. I think we were maybe a week into it. And we've had a couple more weeks under our belt. I want to say that hats off to you, Chris, because you've done exceptionally well. Because I know this would be harder for you, but you have not been drinking your Coca-Cola or any other soda for that matter.
Yeah. So those of you
done
that
really, really well.
Don't know, I'm a foodie. So I know there's some foodie brothers and sisters out there. And we like our food, man. But it's been okay. I think the more I learn about what the companies put in our food, the little bit easier it is for me to go back to the basics.
I think that is a true statement. And you are a researcher. And so as you're reading this, it's opened your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to mention what they do to the chickens that we eat.
I think you kind of did last time. So, we don't want to gross anybody out. We just want to say that we've made some radical changes. It has all been good. We've been eating primarily at home, so that way we can kind of control it. But we did, and Bryce has done amazingly well.
I mean, he is such a trooper.
He really is.
He does ask, Daddy, will I ever have pizza again? Or what was the other thing that he wanted? Daddy, will I ever have French fries again? And we'll get to the French fries.
Yeah, we'll get to the French fry change, which is really
that's
recent.
a little heartbreaking, but we didn't say no.
Right.
But just not right now.
We just said not right now. We're still trying to figure out what's going to help get the bumps off your face and off your arms, and he wants them off. So he's on board to pretty much trust our judgment, and we have found little special treats for him that make him happy. I did find a particular chocolate chip, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, blah, 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 free cookie. And so we took that to Mama and Papa's house. So he knows when he goes there now, that's his special treat, and he only gets 2 cookies. And he's happy with that. We went over there yesterday, and then I had to go back today because I had lost my purse and we found it over there. But when we started to go, he said, do I get to have cookies again? And I said, sure. It was his last 2 from that box, and we'll get another one. But I want him to know that he can have a special treat here and there as long as it's not going to impact his health and affect his skin and his insides, that sort of thing. But that's all been going well.
We're just trying to find foods that are free of all allergens, and everything's free except for the cost of the item. So we still have to pay for it.
We do, and we're paying a little bit more, so,
But we're not eating out, so.
We're not, and we're really trying to shop wisely and find the organic foods at the least expensive place that we can. And so we may have to hit 2 or 3 stores
to find what we need.
Yeah, but it's worked out well, and I'm really happy. And I will say that the energy level has, well, it's definitely been better for Bryce, which we mentioned last time, and then it's gone to another level. I definitely feel better inside and outside since we started this.
Yeah.
And I know you still have your walls you're knocking down, but
Yeah,
I think it's still good and you're doing well.
I've lost 10 pounds.
I mean, that's great.
And
again, it's only been 3 weeks.
I have more energy. I don't feel like I need a nap in the middle of the day like I used to. So I'd still get a little bit tired around that time, but not like it was, like I was dead tired. So I'm happy about that, and it'll probably continue to get better energy-wise. So.
Well, I think it will, because I think some of this stuff takes
a while.
Not just days, but weeks or months to get out of your system.
Yeah.
And for your body chemistry to really change.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we want to be consistent. We are being consistent. I had mentioned Bryce's energy is up a lot. And so we were talking about, man, he
bouncing
just,
off the walls.
like literally sitting upside down on the couch with his legs up in the air, crawling all over the furniture,
spinning
crawling
around.
all over me. He started doing spinning stems. He started doing where the head goes to the side, which I know is like for vision kind of stem, walking with his head turned to the side and kind of looking at the floor. I don't know. It's some type of feedback he's getting from that.
He wants to do flips and somersaults. So it's
and so his BCBA was here, and that's Miss Amanda who writes his plan. And so she was observing some of this, mm-hmm. and we were telling her about it. And she said that when he goes on the furniture upside down, that is sensory feedback for his ears. And she had a name for it and said, oh, that's fairly common, with a lot of my kids. So I didn't know that. I really didn't even know it was autism sensory feedback related. But these are, with Bryce, as I was telling my parents yesterday, we're in a new season of behaviors. These are newer to us. I've seen him spin occasionally, but this has been at a higher level of spinning and the other stuff that he's doing. But that's okay. I feel like part of it is because we have removed the fog. Mm-hmm. Because we removed the gluten. Mm-hmm. And I do think that is part of it. And then
he's talking more.
He's definitely talking more. I got positive feedback from his therapist when I picked him up this week without me telling them that we had made any changes. Mm-hmm. And his OT said, his language is just really, like, I don't know the word she used, but she was trying to say it's like really increased and improved, like just how much he's talking to her. And she was telling me some of the things that he said and how he was like, if you need any help with anything, just let me know and I'll help you. And, but they're hearing him talk so much more. And I didn't have any reports this week when I picked him up that he wasn't focused. And I normally hear that every time, that it's either a slow start or they lost him at the end or he wasn't quite with us today. Nope, it was all good reports. So finally on the third day, well, he only had 2 days this week, because we had July 4th. So it was a good report on Tuesday, and there was another good report on Wednesday. So then I said to her, I'm happy to hear you say that because we have made some changes, and it sounds like you guys are beginning to see them. And she said, well, definitely something has changed. So
good. That
was positive. And then the other thing I was going to say is, like, we were talking about what we could do here at the house to help him get his energies out and help him regulate his emotions and all of that. And I know you didn't really want to get a jumpaline. A
jumpaline, yes. That could be a new product.
How about a trampoline to jump on in the backyard?
Right.
And so we went ahead and visited the local trampoline place, which here it's called Defy. And that's worked out really well.
Yeah.
We took him last Sunday. I took him again today. Last week we went for an hour.
Yep.
This week we have a 2-hour plan, which is kind of great because then he has to leave after 2 hours because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. He was wore out. I mean, he was in full-on sweat, but he loved it. He loved every minute of it. And when I asked him afterwards, he goes, how long were we there? And I said, we were there 2 hours. I said, last week was an hour. Which was better, 1 hour or 2 hours? He goes, 2 hours. I'm like, okay, so it wasn't too long. He was super happy. At the end, I put him in this hanging cloth, and it hangs from the ceiling, and it's like a swing made out of cloth, but can wrap around too. So it's like a full-on cocoon, and you can't even see him. And and it's swinging over all these big foam squares, so it's completely safe. But he loved being in that. And then I spun him in it, and wow. So, he's really wanting this spinning feedback.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, let me spin him here, which it's more safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it because anything that moves or has speed or has gears or engines, Bryce is all in it. And so to be moving fast at that speed, he loved that. And then I asked him how that made him feel when he was spinning. And when we got in the car, and he said, very excited. Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, well, so how does it make your ears feel when you're spinning like that? So it's exciting for my ears. I said, okay. So I think he was just happy with it, and he was excited. And he goes, it makes me dizzy. I said, yeah, spinning does make you dizzy. And how does it make you feel when you're dizzy? He goes, well, I don't want to fall when I'm dizzy.
Right.
And I said, right. So when you're spinning at the house, you need to be really careful so you don't fall. But if we spin you when we're here, then, you're safe because you'll fall on the foam, and that's okay. So I think being able to just give him some replacements so he can still get that feeling that he's wanting, but he can recognize that now he has a safe option for it.
Yep.
Maybe that will help tone down the spinning here, because honestly, my concern is that he's going to get hurt.
Yeah, so people are probably wondering, well, why doesn't Chris want a trampoline in his backyard? Well,
I think that's not everybody does.
Well, listen, guys like me are wondering like that out there.
Okay.
So here's for the guys.
Okay.
So we have a friend of ours that works in the local trauma center, and he's told us when Bryce was younger, we must have mentioned the trampoline, and he was like, oh, we see kids come in all the time from those things. And, there's a lot of injuries from those. And so the ones that you put in your backyard typically have those big honking springs that come out from the edge to keep the trampoline tight. And so your leg can get caught in there, and you can get hurt. I know some of them have covers, but another reason why is because we get a lot of tropical storms and hurricanes here. So if we were to get one of those large trampolines, very difficult to take down, set up all the time with that kind of thing. And we've seen videos of the trampolines that fly away during those storms. So, and then the grass grows tall underneath, and the list goes on. But anyway, that's why we didn't get one for the backyard.
So it made sense to do the summer pass.
Yeah.
Check it out. We only had a 3-month commitment. And then today I put a little snippet of him there while we were there and shared it on my personal Facebook page. And then I just said, if there's any friends out there that want to join us, just let us know. And I actually had one of my friends reach out right away and said, yes, let us know next time you're there and we'll meet you, which is great. That's going to be Casey and her boys. And then I had a friend that came and met us there today. So, that's what I'm hoping is like, and we're in South Florida, so it's really stinking hot and humid here now. We don't like to go out during the day. So to find an indoor activity for him that is fun, this is a real winner for us.
We're in oven season right now. You walk out the door and it feels like you're in the oven.
Yeah. We had a little friend come over and play the other night, which was great. And we have a zip line in our backyard, which we've mentioned in the past, which is also a great way for Bryce to get some of those energies out and that speed that he likes, and spin him on that, which he loves. But the only time we can really do that is go out when it's just about sunset. And even then, it's like kind of muggy. So.
And that's when the skeeters come out.
And we did have mosquitoes out there when we were there the other night.
Yeah.
So this has been good. We're very happy with that. And I was pleased today. I did go in and I asked when would be the best times to bring Bryce. And I was asking that because when this place first opened up, I heard, through different friends that I had, that a lot of the older kids in our area, it's like a teenage hangout. And which is great. And they go and they have fun, but that would not be a good match for Bryce. And so, it seems like stay away on Friday nights and Saturday nights and Sunday nights. I'm like, okay, I can handle that. So, if you go to one of those places because you want to find a place for your child and it's not necessarily designed just for the younger kids, you just ask the questions and get in the schedule, and one thing I really have loved being there, and it's only been twice, but I'm telling you, as a autism mommy, it's so important to me. It's like when we went last week, Chris and I, as you know, we're not shy about saying that we live in the world of autism. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes it's best for people to know that, because then they're fully informed, and that may help them be able to interact with us and with Bryce in a better way.
Right.
And so when we went in and we were telling, we said, we haven't been here before. We're just going to see if this is a good fit for him. And, he's on the autism spectrum. And then she was like, oh, my friend's brother is, and he comes in and he plays here and he loves it. And we have a lot of the kids that come here. It was that young girl last week that signed us up. So that made me feel really comfortable. I observed both of the young kids that are working there. They were so friendly and interactive with anybody that came up to the table, and they gave special attention to Bryce. So when we went back today, Bryce actually started a conversation with the young guy that scanned in our card. And he said, oh, well, when he scanned him, he saw his name was Bryce. So he goes, hi, Bryce, how are you? And Bryce says, I'm good. How are you? And he says, I'm good. And Bryce says, I'm a Nintendo Switch player. And he goes, you are? Did you say you played Nintendo Switch? He says, yes, I play Animal Crossing. And then the boy asked him, which game do you play? And he goes, I play Animal Crossing, New Horizons. And the young man was like, oh, I love that game. It's such a peaceful, calm game to play. Bryce goes, yes, I'm building my island. Tonight I'll be playing with Auntie Sue at 7 o'clock. Do you want to know how that works? And he said, yeah. And he goes, because she's on my best friends list. And then I saw there was somebody in line waiting. So I said, okay, we got to wrap up now. But I was so happy. Yes, it was about Nintendo Switch, but Bryce even expanded that conversation more. And that young man was so sweet and kind to go back and forth with Bryce. It was just really beautiful to watch.
That's what we're living for, is conversations like that. We're just, man, if we could just get to that point where that happens often.
Conversations like that, and places that we can take him that are comfortable, and that conversations like that can happen, because that's part of the challenge as well, is finding that place that we feel welcomed and we feel comfortable and we don't feel stared at. And I know that the parents listening to this get it.
So with that, let's segue.
Oh, wait, I got one more thing to share, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so also there at the gym place today, there was another young lady that was standing around. They have people kind of strategically placed throughout just to make sure that, I said, are you here to make sure people are behaving? And she said, yes, sometimes it's really hard. I said, yeah, I've heard when the big kids come, it can get pretty rowdy. And she said, yeah. And then I was asking her again about the times. And then I showed her Bryce because he was kind of over jumping. And I said, yeah, that's my son and he has autism. So, I want to be careful as to the times that I bring him. And she goes, oh, he has autism? I'm glad you told me that. She goes, I like it when parents, we like it when parents tell us that, because a lot of them don't. And then we don't know. And then she goes, I've even had to go to a parent and say, does he have autism? She goes, and I don't want to seem rude or mean, but it helps us know how to work with them and help them if we know that they have autism. And I thought, I wanted to share that on here because it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that if you share it, it will actually help. Yeah.
And cue the autism t-shirt that we have. Patience, please. Autism awareness. So we still have him wear that when we go to places like this. He wasn't wearing it today, but it is helpful when he's at a place like that where other kids around him can know, and the people, like you said, that work there can know. So you ran into that girl and told her, but like you said, the employees are spread out throughout the whole thing. So if there's somebody we miss telling or whatever, he'll have that shirt on.
True.
And it helps.
I know. And I am not a fan of putting him in an autism-related shirt every day or every week or every month. But I do think there have been times, especially when he was younger and couldn't talk at all, you know, that sort of thing. And we were leaving him alone in a room with adults or people that wouldn't know that. It became very helpful. But there are definitely still times, like you said, that it is helpful, you know, for people to know. And you can't always say it with your mouth. Like yesterday, we were at the bowling alley. And and I'll be talking about what we were there for, but as we were walking down to go to the meeting room, there was a large group of adults that were bowling, and they had on their Special Olympic shirts. And I know they were there as a group, but for me, it was like, now, you know, that's great that they're letting people know that they are part of the Special Olympics. And I just think if you have any kindness in your soul and compassion, it just ticks it up. Then you're like, you know, you want to be extra kind and extra compassionate and extra caring when you're with someone that truly has special needs like that. So, you know, I think that is all great.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And they had a lot of people there for the Special Olympics. They were adults, too. They weren't kids. They were adults.
Yeah, it was adults.
I was so impressed that they had that many people there, and they were all having just the best time. And I'm like, oh, man, that's totally awesome.
It is. And as a parent, you know, we don't know what Bryce's future is going to be like. We don't.
Right.
He's only 7. But it's still heartwarming to see, like, they found their people and they have their group and they're happy. And that's what we want for Bryce, for him to find his group
and his people
and be happy. Yeah. So, should we segue what we were at the bowling alley for now, or did you want to segue to something else?
No, when you were talking about, you know,
about
being part of a group that's welcoming and, you know, kind of knows what you're going through.
Well, there's a segue.
There's the segue.
Okay, so last podcast we had mentioned about Cub Scouts and that we were really making that decision. And I think we had leaned that we were going to, if we're going to continue, we would need to be in a special needs pack.
Yeah.
And we had mentioned that I just want to explain how God works because I have to give him praise on this one. So on Saturday, we had the conversation that we shared the last time on the podcast briefly, that Bryce's lion den leader was here and she was giving him his final awards of the year, and she was asking us what our plans were. And in a summary, we kind of knew at the end of that conversation which way to go. But one thing she had mentioned was, because Chris had said, well, I heard there might be a special needs pack here in Port St. Lucie. Because right now, the one in Fort Pierce is a good drive. 30 minutes from us. At least. Maybe 40 minutes.
Yeah.
On a weeknight. And we were just like, oh, you know, do we want to do that? Do we not want to do that? So we said, well, we were hoping that they might open one here in Port St. Lucie, you know, closer to where we live. And she said, that'll never happen. It's never going to happen. So that was on Saturday. So Tuesday, we are at a Cub Scout event, a summer event for our pack that we've been with. And they were doing bowling. And I said, Bryce loves bowling. You know, let's go ahead and go and we'll have a good time.
And I had a message in my phone from... I'm so-and-so with the District Council of Cub Scouts. Please give me a call back. So I'm like, okay.
And it was just like right when we arrived. And
I had no idea what it was about.
Yeah, you said, I have to go make a call. Bryce might be coming in.
Yeah. Hey,
I hear KK Slider. Okay.
Oh, he knocked. Come on in, Bryce. Hi.
Is that KK singing?
Oh.
Do you want to tell the people what KK's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say hi, everybody.
Wait, we can't.
Oh, you're holding it up to the mic? Is this a long song?
I don't know, but welcome to our world. Wow.
All right.
Oh, that's the credits. Okay, is that the song he gave you today?
What?
Okay, pause.
Okay, can you pause it?
What is he gonna give me?
Who? Did he give you that song?
Yes.
Okay, very nice.
Let me show you what I got in my jukebox.
Okay, well, maybe after our podcast breaks. Would that be
we can't
okay?
do it right now. Can you give us, let us finish, okay? Okay. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, good job,
That's
Bryce.
awesome. Bye, thanks. Oh, the song is over.
Okay.
Oh.
So
and
that's
sometimes
Animal,
you get a
that's
slam
Animal
door.
Crossing New Horizons, and that would be KK Slider the dog singing on the weekend, which Bryce enjoys.
He loves that music.
But you know what's great is like the last time when he came in, he knocked before he came in.
Yeah.
Those are good new behaviors.
Yay.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
You know, he's thinking more about those types of things now that we've been on this new food plan.
The way he asks for things.
The way he says
the
thank
manners
you.
that he's using. Everything is like at a whole other level.
Yeah, he's like remembering to say those things.
He is. So that's another side thing.
Yeah.
There. Okay, so back to the Scouts thing. Okay, so yeah, we get there and you said, I got to go make a call. And I thought, who is he going to call when we just got here to the bowling alley?
Know.
And then when you came back, you told me it was about the new pack.
Yeah.
And the guy basically said, okay, we're going to start a new pack in Port St. Lucie, but we need 5 families to commit, and we have 4.
Yep.
And if you guys commit, that's number 5, and the pack will be in place and start in August. Yep. Now, is that God's timing? Like he already just gave us all affirmations, and then he's like, here, let me deliver, and I'm going to put it right here in Port St. Lucie.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
I said, scout me in. That's what they say in Scouts.
That's
Instead
hilarious.
of count me
I
in,
never heard
scout
that.
me in. Yeah. So he's super
So we're
nice.
scouted in.
Yep.
We met with everybody yesterday.
Yep.
We met the new families. And one of the families that we know is one we invited. And so we're super happy that her and her son are going to join us.
So Bryce is automatically going to have a friend that he knows.
Yes.
Yeah. And all the other
all
kids.
Of them,
super nice. I mean,
it just felt like what we...
home. It felt like home.
We felt like this is what
this
we
is
were seeking.
This is our people.
They get it. And it was really, really
Yeah.
great. We're very excited about this. We get to start the pack from scratch, but we have the other special needs pack that is like right there to hold our hand through this.
Yeah.
And we also have the Cub Master
From
who
our
we
old
were
pack.
with before. And she's like, oh, I want to do anything I can to help you guys. So we're just surrounded
amazing.
with support.
Yeah.
And we're really excited to see where this is going to go and what's going to happen.
And we're meeting every other week instead of every week.
See, we
so
can
that
control
really
these
takes a
things.
lot off of us.
It does. And also, like when they were saying, how long will the meetings be? And we were like, an hour tops, but it was already like, if you can't stay the whole hour, it's okay.
Right.
If your child,
They
we get it.
understand
You can
that
go. You work
can't
at
keep
your
their
own
attention for an hour. So that's going to be easier. And what else was going to be? There was something
You get
else.
to work at your own pace, and
Yes,
it's not based
for
on your
the-
chronological age.
for
It's
the
just
badges.
wherever you're comfortable at. So there's no pressure in like having to keep up with the peers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, oh man, they said all the right things.
They did. They checked every box
And-
that we've
and
been
we're
looking
excited.
for. And so, yes, this is going to be, I'm sure we'll be hearing
Yep.
more about this because this will be part of our journey. And so that's
Yep.
where we're going to be in August.
We're thankful for our Scout pack that we were in because
it helped us.
it helped us get the hang of it,
Yeah.
the routine. Now we know what's expected, and now going into this new special needs pack where it's a little more lax on things, we're just more comfortable.
Yep. So it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Let me see what else I have on my handy.
Well, let's do our giveaway.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
Okay, so we're back to giveaways. And this month's giveaway is going to be what's called a wiggle seat. So the kind folks at Lackey Kid donated this to us because they want to spread the word about their products. And if you just Google wiggle seat, it'll come up. It's kind of like a flattened, I don't know, what would you call it? A flattened seat.
It's like a cushion, isn't
Cushion. Yeah, cushion. Thank you. You can put it on top of a chair, and it's got little nubs on one side and then the little spiky things on the other. And
But not
it's
painful, spiky
not
things.
painful, spiky things. But it's supposed to improve focus and concentration. It reduces fidgeting. It's travel friendly, and it provides sensory stimulation. So
It's for the squirmy child.
yeah. So I was having trouble with Bryce. He offered us all these products to try, and I thought, well, the wiggle seat might be good for him because he does get fidgety in his seat when we're doing homeschool. So we tried it for homeschool, and Bryce really didn't care for sitting on it. So he just kept pulling it out or just sliding himself off of it because, I don't know, it must have been the sensory feedback that it was giving him. He just didn't care for. But I mentioned it to his OT at his therapy place, and she says, oh yeah, we use those all the time, and we use it here for Bryce too. So I'm not exactly sure.
I'm wondering if maybe because it's the shape of the seat versus the bar stool that he sits on.
Yeah, it could be awkward.
I think it might be an awkward fit.
Instead of on like a chair.
Yeah, he's not on like a regular seat chair that you sit on. He's up on a rectangle shaped bar stool.
Yeah, so anyway, he's not as fidgety as he was. And so we're going to give this one away to a lucky winner. And all you have to do is you cannot be a previous winner of one of our contests.
Chris wants to share the love.
I want to share the love with somebody new. And so just send us your email with the subject line contest and say, hey, please enter me in your contest. And if you want to elaborate about our podcast and what you like or what you don't like about it, we'd love it.
I always like to hear about your family and your child, too.
Yes. Sandy likes all the details.
Yes.
As do I.
Because I'm a girl.
And just email us at parentingautism@att.net. And the first one that emails us will receive this wiggle seat. And it's really cool. I hope somebody can enjoy that.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I have just a couple.
And we'll announce the winner next episode. Sorry.
3 more things to share. Okay, we got to go back to the diet. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
But
rewind.
Nightshades.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about one of the visual observations with Bryce has been that the bumps on his face, like he was developing acne at age 7, which is insane, like straight on whiteheads. I'm like, okay, this isn't good. And his arms were really bad. And I can tell when it goes like to his lip and around his nose that something's really flaring it up for him. So I do believe wheat was a big part of that, and the gluten. It got better. But then it was, I think, a week ago Friday, we went out to dinner. It was one of those things that we already had plans to go out with Grandma Roro. She had to cancel, but we didn't have a dinner planned. Mm-hmm. So we're like, well, okay, we're going. What can we get Bryce?
On this thing, you got to plan.
Yeah. So we went to Outhouse. No, we did not. We don't eat at the Outhouse.
Oh, that was a bad one.
That was bad. We went to Outback Steakhouse. So we went to Outback. We had a gift certificate. I'm like, let's just go there. And we knew we could eat meat and sweet potatoes. Yep. So, it was, and we said no bread. But for Bryce, he wanted to know if he could have French fries because we were going out. And in his mind, if you're eating out, French fries comes on the plate. Yep. So I said, well, this will be a good test because we had not given him fries in over probably 2 weeks at that point. So we're like, okay, you can have French fries, buddy. And then he ate steak with us.
Well, I was making those air fryer fries at home.
Okay.
So.
But he hadn't had anything really bad. Yeah, and he hadn't had anything from outside. So after he had those French fries, the next day, his lip was really bad again. I'm like, I think those French fries did it. Now, they probably were not gluten-free because they probably share their fryer with other things that have gluten in them. But we don't know that. So I'm just saying that was the thought was, maybe they're not gluten-free.
Yeah, so we looked online.
So we're like, okay, and then you did your research to find out who serves gluten-free fries. So forever in that spot again.
That Outback shares their fryer with everything that's fried on their menu.
It's confirmed that they are not gluten-free.
Right. So it's going to be chicken fingers. It's going to be cheese sticks. Sure. So there's your dairy. So you got all those allergens in the same fryer.
So bottom line is we knew, I'm going to say the assumption was gluten caused it. Okay, so we move forward and Chris says, that's it. I'm going to try French fries again at home because I know last time we talked about it and you gave your recipe and I think you baked them.
I air fried them.
And you air fried them.
And baked them, yep.
Right. So this time you wanted to actually put them in the oil like at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too keen about it, but you're like, it's healthy. I'm using a good oil.
Peanut oil's healthy.
He was using peanut oil, which made me extra nervous because Bryce is allergic to peanuts, even though he has had peanut oil. So we went ahead and we did the test, and the great news is we did not go to the ER, and Bryce did not have hives or any problems breathing.
So you people with kiddos that are allergic to peanuts, the peanut oil is refined and does not contain the protein that normally causes the allergic reaction. So
Hey, there we
I'm not
go.
telling you to go out there and try
Right.
peanut oil. This is a disclaimer.
Yes, please.
I would say do not try it, but we tried it.
We tried it,
And it worked.
it worked out favorably. However, Bryce's face broke out again very badly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, something's not right. Was it the oil? What was it? And then you just said, kind of nonchalantly, well, maybe it's this nightshade. Is it nightshades? And I'm like, what are nightshades?
I talked to my brother, and he's like, well, maybe you ought to look into nightshades because he could be sensitive to those. And I had remembered the term from before. You do all this research now that we're all doctors. So I'm like, yeah, okay, let me look at that. So nightshades include white potatoes, so any potato that has white inside. So red potatoes, russet potatoes, whatever.
Little yellow potatoes.
Little yellow potatoes.
Blue potatoes.
All the
Yep.
good potatoes. And then tomatoes, paprika,
Peppers.
red or bell peppers, red pepper flakes,
And
red
eggplant,
pepper spices,
which was no issue.
Eggplant. So all those things are nightshades. And so potatoes is one of those. Does it cause acne? We looked it up. Yep, it can cause acne. So unfortunately, I bought the potato cutter and the oil and all
Which
that
we can
stuff.
use for sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
The potato cutter.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Which we're going to convert to sweet potatoes. And try
Yeah.
the sweet potato fries for now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what's causing it, but I just have this feeling that
Yeah.
we're getting closer
Yeah.
to what the
let
solution
me
is going to
share,
be. Because
sweet
he was
potatoes
having
really
fries
quick.
every single day.
So real quick recipe, sweet potatoes, throw them in the oven, 425 for about an hour, depending on what size the potato is. So if you got a small to medium sized potato, they come out really soft and good. And what we do is sometimes we'll put ghee on there, or I do, and then we put cinnamon, and you can put a little bit of brown sugar if you like a little sweet on it. So
Or for me, yesterday we had one left over from grilling the night before. And I didn't want to put brown sugar because I'm trying to really eliminate sugar too as much as I can. So I put cinnamon on, and then I thought, oh, let me squeeze some honey.
yeah,
Natural sweetener, delicious.
yeah, good. So that's a quickie.
There you go.
So anyway, nightshades. So now
We'll keep you posted.
We're removing the potatoes.
And his face has cleared up.
Poor guy.
the
He's
past
like,
couple days.
Daddy, will I ever have French fries again?
That's what he said.
That was a heartbreaker. But we just say not right now. We want to make sure what it is that's causing the bumps.
Yeah, and we had to eat out last night because again the Cub Scout / bowling meeting went much longer than anticipated. So we're like, well, we're going to have to eat out. And there was one of our favorite Mexican restaurants right near there. So we went there, and we knew that the last time we ate there, we got Bryce grilled chicken, that they had that as an option. And it comes with fries, but we said no. He likes rice. So, but normally he's really picky about which rice he
white
likes.
rice, yeah.
And
he wouldn't eat the Spanish rice the last time we were there.
No. And so this time we said, no, we're going to get you rice with no cheese. And so he had the grilled chicken, and he ate every bite of his rice.
Yeah.
And I told you, I think like his taste buds are going to change with this as well.
Yeah.
And so it was very encouraging and exciting that he was able to have that meal.
He's trying new
and eat out.
foods. I went to the store today, and I picked up this organic granola from the store called Sprouts, and it has pumpkin seeds in it and coconut and some other things like maple syrup, and he liked that. So that's going to be a great snack for him and us.
Yeah. And he just still loves the orange slice. He was at Mom's. He's like, is there something else I can have here, Mommy? And I said, well, I don't know unless she has fruit. And she's like, I have apples. You want me to slice you up an apple? And he's like, no, you have orange slices. And she found an orange, and he was able to have an orange. So like he knows to ask, like, what can I, because usually
He knows what he can't have, yeah.
So it was really good. The last little things I have, one,
Oh, here he comes.
not as happy. Hold on.
Hello.
We're almost done.
You want to come in?
Yeah,
come
we're
on
almost
in.
done.
Okay. Is this a
Oh,
new
is that
song?
I made a silly song.
Oh, you made
did?
it? Wow.
I typed the wrong letters.
Oh,
Took
my
the wrong
goodness.
letters and made a silly song.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing.
It was.
It was what?
Let me show you what it's for.
All right, we'll be done in a
We're
minute,
almost done,
okay?
Lovey, okay? Thank you.
Slam. Nope.
Nope.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
good. Okay, so one's going to be about the air pillow meltdown because I feel like
Okay.
we need to share
Yeah.
that. And then my other one is my tip to get him to go into CVS with me without any complaining.
Okay, so first let's preface the air pillow meltdown with we've had some incredible success with behaviors because we have not seen the dropping to the floor like we were. And I don't have to give him $1 anymore. So he's I don't know if he's just consciously aware of that now or he's handling it or is it the diet? I don't know, but
The last 2 weeks, we have not been logging every day. Where before we were logging every day and sometimes twice a day.
right. I mean, I don't even know that he fell to the floor in the last week, has he?
No,
I mean,
just
no.
this one meltdown,
Yeah.
and it had nothing to do with nothing to do
Yeah.
with a controller or an iPad or
So
anything.
I'll start since I was the witness. And Bryce was the defendant.
Poor Bryce.
So we're cleaning out our garage, and I was doing something outside. Maybe I was grilling or something, and I walked in.
No, you're going back and forth to the shed.
Oh, to the shed.
'Cause
That's
we're-
what it was.
Yeah, working on that project.
So I'm coming in from the shed, and one of the air pillows had spilled out from the box. You know, the air pillows that you use for packing. And I didn't know it, and I accidentally stepped on it, and Bryce was about 3 feet away. So it popped, and Bryce looked at me, and there must have been a moment of silence, which felt like a year. But it was only like 3 seconds. He looked at me, and then he's like, "Daddy, what did you do?"
And drop.
And he dropped to the floor, and I said, "I'm sorry, Bryce, it was an accident." And that didn't help things. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it was not a good moment.
No, it wasn't.
No, because you were upset that he dropped.
Oh yeah, I'm like, Bryce, why did you fall to the floor?
And that's all I heard because I didn't
Yeah.
hear the pop. So I was in
Yeah.
the other room and I heard, Bryce, why did you do that?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what he did.
Yeah. Because
And
I was so
so-
surprised. I
Right.
mean, we had gone for a long stretch. I'm like, Bryce.
Right. So you were shocked that he just hurt himself like
Yeah.
that. So all I heard was, Bryce, why did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I'm thinking Bryce did something to something in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So I come in the other room quickly, and then I see him on the floor just balled up and crying.
Mm-hmm.
And then you told me that you stepped on an air pillow because I had no idea what happened. And then he's saying to you, why did you do that, Daddy? And so I went over, and this all happened quickly. I went over and got on the floor with him because it was a sad state. I haven't seen him heave and cry this
Yeah.
hard
He couldn't catch his
in
breath
a really
when he
long
was
time,
crying.
like
and that-
right out the gate.
That's been a long time.
Super hard. So I'm holding him, and then I
He's
think
wanting to hit
you were
his
still
ears.
trying to say, "Oh, there was the ears going on." Then he said, "I will throw myself to the floor 100 times." Because he was so upset.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was trying to like gently refrain him because he was trying to like get up so he could throw himself to the floor again. And when he
Mm-hmm.
did throw himself and I first went there, he's going, ouch, ouch, it really hurts, ouch. I go, well, it does hurt, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you threw yourself hard on a tile floor, it's going to hurt you. So we're like trying to protect him, and then he starts doing his banging his ears, and you're like, make him stop. And I'm like trying to like, not make a big scene out of it, but still keep him calm. And I was rubbing his back and just trying to breathe. Sometimes he has a hard time doing the deep breaths.
in the moment, he just can't.
In the moment, he couldn't, and he was just so far gone so fast. So I do deep breaths for him when I'm holding him because I think he can feel my calmness. Mm-hmm. Like breathe in and breathe out, and then kind of follow if I'm modeling that for him. We were able to get him calmer, and finally, where he stopped sobbing, I don't know, it was probably at least 10 or 15 minutes or more. I don't know. It was a long one. It was a bad one. But then it was like he came out of where he couldn't control it, and then he says, "What is wrong with me? I need help with my brain." And that just like broke my heart. And I'm like, we're trying, buddy. Yeah. We're trying. It's like he knows this isn't normal. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why I can't control that. So we worked him through that. And then we were saying, when we got to a better point and he got up, then we're like, he was saying, "I'm so upset," and something else. And so every time he used his words, even if he said, "I will throw myself to the floor 100 times," Thank you for telling us that, mm-hmm. And we praised him for using his words. We want you to use your words. We're going to help you. So we get him up, and then must have still been bothering him because it was probably another 10, 15 minutes later, I want to
mm-hmm.
say, that he took you over to his calendar, the whiteboard, and he said, "Draw a sad face
on
today. And you're like, "You want me to draw a sad face on today?" "Yes." And so you did. And he goes, "Draw one
it's
tomorrow."
It's a sad day.
It's a sad day. And he goes, "Draw one for every day of the month." Mm-hmm. And you're like, "You want me to draw sad for every day of the month?" "Yes." "And for every month, all the months." Mm-hmm. So when we talked about it later, I said, he in his way was trying to say, it feels like right now I'll be sad forever. Like it felt like it would never end for him.
Yeah.
And that's how he felt. And that's how he was trying to express that to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we got him through that. Well, you've heard us talk about Animal Crossing and that he likes how the bell chimes at the top of each hour.
Yep.
Which the clock has left our wall in the past 2 weeks and is making me nuts because I want to know what time it is.
Well, so does Bryce.
But we had to do that because Bryce was way too distracted with life and with school. Hold on.
Yep.
So anyway, I don't know. It was, again, probably God's wisdom just coming into me, and I knew it was just a couple minutes before 1 o'clock. Oh, and Bryce, the other thing he said was, "I've lost my powers.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost my superpowers." Like he felt so defeated, and I think he was just exhausted from the cry, and he felt weak. And so the way he says that is, "I've lost my powers." So I said, "Well, you know what? If you go get your Switch and we can listen to the 1 o'clock bell, I bet it will give you your powers back." And he goes, "What time is it?" So he ran, he got it, and we listened to it.
There's a fly in here. Can you let him out?
Uh-oh.
It's a wasp.
Oh,
What?
There's a wasp in the house?
Yes.
Get your net. Let's go find him. Okay?
I think you'll stain me.
Okay, we'll be right back. All right, let's get your net so we can...
Can I catch him?
Come on, show me where he is.
Okay, they're out there catching the insect. We have to wrap up here because we have a 7 o'clock play date with Bryce and Auntie Sue. So anyway, that worked. We got the clock. It went off at 1 o'clock. He said he had his superpowers back, and he really was good the rest of the day. His BCBA started to talk to him about it on Thursday, which would have been 3 days later. And the tears immediately just welled up, and he was scared again of even the mention of the air pillow. Because I had said to her, "Is this something that, I should help desensitize him to and like push him through it?" But I feel like he's so terrified that it would be cruel to do that. And when she saw his reaction just with her saying that, she was shocked. And she said, "I've never seen it like that before. And I'm so glad I saw that, because later I might have said, well, maybe we should try to desensitize him." She said, "No, you would put him in straight up trauma if you tried that right now." So, again, we have to listen to our wisdom and inner spirit, and what should we do, and do what's right for each child and our child. And so I was happy to get through that with Bryce. And then the last little thing I'm going to share, and then we're going to wrap up here, is that same day after Miss Amanda left, Bryce didn't want to go to the CVS store with me. And I really just needed to go in and get Nasacort for Chris. And I knew it would be brief, and I needed to go that night, and he didn't want to go because he doesn't like going in stores. And I was trying to think, is it because is there something in the stores that he doesn't like, or is it just because he doesn't want to be away from the house or his game for a period of time, which I think it's probably more the latter than the first. So he said, it's going to take forever. It'll take an hour. And I said, no, it won't. It'll take 5 minutes. So I had heard somebody else mention this, like that it's hard sometimes for the kids to have a concept of time. Mm-hmm. And so I told him, I said, you know what, buddy, I'm telling you it'll be less than 5 minutes. How about if we set a timer and I can show you that it'll take less than 5 minutes? And so he was on board with that, and I let him press the go button, and we went in, and then of course I couldn't find the Nasacort because the one remaining bottle had turned over, but it was a game for Bryce, and he's like, hurry, And when we got to the cash register, he said, can you do it faster? Ring us faster. So I made it into a fun game for him. We did get it under 5 minutes, and then I paid cash, and there was some change coming back to us, like 4 cents. And so I told him that he could have the 4 cents change for his bank, and you would have thought that he got $400. He was so happy with that. And I just turned what was going to be perceived as a negative, boring, long experience for him into something fun, because I know he likes races. He likes, the hurry up thing, and he also likes money. So it's just finding those ways to turn something that would be negative into something positive to get them through it. And I said, do you want to go to the store with me the next time so we can do that again? And he said, yes. So, not that I'm going to take him every time, but I wanted to leave it on a positive note for him, like he would be willing and wanting to go back again. So
yeah, sometimes it's hard to think on the fly when you're in the moment, but that was a great job.
That worked out well.
Doing the change and everything like that.
Yep. So, okay, that's all we got for this week. I told him we have a date with Auntie Sue at 7, so we got to wrap this puppy up.
Wrap it up. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, episode 70 in the books. Thanks for listening. And
have a great week.
Hey, leave us a review if you'd like.
We really would like that.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.